Hey guys, Marcin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So if you watched my summon video earlier or you were there at the stream, you will have seen that I did pull one copy of the new LR Super BUU off of the discounted multis. Definitely not going to do any more than that. So we're going to check him out at 55%, no dupes, freshly pulled, freshly awakened. So he's full level 1 links. I'm just sat here on the map screen because he does have an entrance animation. So let's go ahead and jump in and let that play out here. Alright, so there you go, Super BUU ready to go. We got Gamma 1 on this rotation as well. So I'm running the double Gamma 1's team because he leads artificial life forms for 170. The downside for this Super BUU is that he has no 200% leader skill teams. So he gets a 170 lead from Gamma 1. There's quite a few teams where he can get the full 170 lead. But yeah, no 200% leaders as yet. I'm going to get his... Well, can I really not get the 18 key super on the first turn? Does he get any extra key? So he gets... Let's have a look at his stats here. So he leads Majin Buu Saga or Heavenly Events for 4 key and 150%. Both of his super attacks raise attack and defense for 1 turn. The 12 key does colossal damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. And the 18 key is mega colossal to all enemies. So it's an AoE with a medium chance to stun. And then his passive is he has the entrance animation, which gives him 5 key and 120% attack and defense for 4 turns. Then he gets 120% attack and defense, additional 30% attack if your HP is 30% or more when attacking, additional 30% attack if it's 60% or more, and an additional 30% attack and defense if it's 90% or more. But this is when attacking, so... Like, if we put him in slot 2, like this, and then this guy got blasted by a super and we lost, like, half of our health, he then wouldn't get those buffs because they happen when he attacks, right? He has a great chance to guard all attacks, so 70%, or he guards guaranteed if there's a Buu Saga or Fused Fighter enemy. He launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super in the same turn where guard was activated, so obviously if he's in slot 1 he gets hit, or if you're against an enemy with an AoE attack, and obviously they're AoEing before he attacks in slot 2 or 3, then that would trigger that as well. He also gets 100% attack for his next attack after he receives a hit. And then he builds up key with each attack received. Okay, so he can build up to 7 key and 140% defense. So he needs to be hit 7 times. So if we go ahead and put him in slot 1 here, we can actually get... If I do this, we should get enough key for the BUU Barbody as well. Because then that gives us the extra 1 key that Super BUU is going to get from getting hit. So this BUU Barbody absorbed unit gives all allies 50% defense, and then the Gamma 1 is giving all allies, is it 30% defense? Yeah, 30% defense and 1 key. So we're starting off at 240k for this BUU, and we have what, 3 links active: Brutal Beatdown, Margin, and Metamorphosis. So let's go ahead and see what he does attack stat wise here on the first turn. So we're going to get hit first. So we get our first buff, we get our extra attack. Oh, wow. Okay, so 10 million for his first attack. And then we get the additional as well for the 5 mil. So obviously he launches a guaranteed additional attack if he gets hit first, but it only has a 50% chance to become a super. So we did get that, and then we didn't get the hidden potential. And then he took double digits from the super, which, I mean, he has type advantage, so we don't need to worry about guard. And then, yeah, that's Frieza just dead. Wow, I was not expecting... Okay, that's pretty crazy. I don't know if I'm going to, like, immediately change my opinion on this guy. But, yeah, 10 million as his first attack with 3 links active. No attack support on that rotation, by the way. And he's 55% level 1 links on a 170 team. Like, that's really good. Like, imagine he was Rainbow Link level 10... on a team where he was getting a 200% leader skill. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. It's going to be interesting to see whether he's good for the World Tournament as well, because remember, in the World Tournament you only get 1 leader skill. and his links aren't going to be the best for key. What does he actually get from his key links? So because obviously margin at level 10 is 2 key, and then what other key links does he have? Infinite regeneration at 10 is 2 key, and then fear and faith is 2 key. So I mean, I guess you could get there, but the problem is he's like Margin Vegeta, where his 18 key is the AoE. So if you're not getting 18 key with him, then obviously he's not going to be that great in the World Tournament. I mean, you could bring like the AGL orb changing items or something like that, but ideally you want to go for characters that just very easily get their AoEs. So him getting hit to build up is okay, but again, if you want to build up, like if you want to do as well as possible in the World Tournament, you ideally want to be hit as few times as possible. So I guess you could kind of back it up by using like a barber item to like seal the enemy so they can't super you, so you know he's only going to take normal attacks, because once he starts getting built up, that's going to be great, but for the World Tournament, like, he doesn't get a chance to do that. And now on this second turn, Gamma 2 is giving attack support instead of defense, so he hits 12 million. Like, that is pretty crazy. Unfortunately, we did have a rotation here where 2 units are not good at taking AoE supers before they've attacked, but what can you do? Is Gamma 2 going to get any supers here? No. Okay. Still takes double digits from the normal attacks though, so that's fine. We got our support memory. I'm trying to get I floated off Gamma 2, so at least they're going to be together. Metal Cooler shares like 2 links with the LR Super BUU. The only reason really I brought him on the team is for the fact that we could, you know, maybe squeak out a revival if we need to, or he is at least like going to give BUU legendary power, because there's no other LRs on the team for him to link with. So fortunately we couldn't get the super with you, as long as he doesn't super again straight away. Okay, so we should be fine here. No one on this rotation should die from the AoE. I mean, this is going to be the problem with this BUU, is the fact that you like the teams that you can run him on. I feel like you have to kind of build them in a weird way to really like maximize his efficiency, because obviously once we finally do get the rotations set up the way we want them to be, we're going to have Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 together on one of the turns, which is going to be incredibly powerful. And then we're finally going to have this rotation where we have Super BUU with the STR Kid BUU. Unfortunately, no attacks in slot 1, which means we don't get the attack buff. So, although I don't know how it works. Like on the last turn, did he get hit after he attacked? Because then in theory, that means he is then getting the attack buff on his next attack. But we'll see what he does here, because he's got no attack support on the rotation. Yeah, he hit 10 million again. So, yeah, that means he is getting that, which is actually really powerful, because if you're putting him in slot 1 on a turn where there are attacks, and then he's getting attacked afterwards, and then you go into a turn like the one we just had, where there are no attacks in slot 1, you're not missing out on that buff because he has it active from the previous turn. So that is actually a very useful mechanic, because it's always super annoying when you have these characters like Carnival Goku, where you want to put them in slot 1, but they get extra buffs if they get hit, and then you get a turn where there is no attacks in slot 1. It's kind of annoying, but this guy, as long as he got hit after he attacked on his previous turn, it doesn't matter if there's any attacks in slot 1, he still has that buff. So I do quite like that. I am definitely impressed with the numbers that he's putting out at 55% level 1 links. I don't think I was expecting it to be that high. And remember, that 10 million, whilst it doesn't matter in these events that we're doing, like, you know, if I take him against Broly, Metal Cooler Core, doesn't really matter for those either, but that's an AoE attack, so it's a 10 million attack stat against all enemies. So he's definitely going to be really good for Super Battle Road. Obviously, JP just got, and Global will be getting eventually, the Margin Power Extreme Super Battle Road, like, upgrade version. And this guy will be insane for that. Like, you put him in slot 1, all of the enemies in that event are BUU Saga, or Fused Fires, I believe, which means he will have guaranteed guard. So you can put him in slot 1, he's going to guard, get hit, get that attack buff, and then drop like a 10 million attack on top of every enemy on the rotation. So that's pretty good. Now you can see here we've obviously lost because we're on turn 7, so we have lost his extra key because we're starting the turn at 13 key. So I feel like that's going to be a problem for him as well in these longer events, unless you are running a lot of units that can give him support, because that 5 extra key for an LR is obviously very, very powerful. And now he's at what, 313k defense. So has he been hit 7 times yet? Because if not, if he's not fully built up, like 313k at the start of the turn at 55% is pretty good. Because bear in mind, both of his super attacks give him a 30% defensive buff as well. So that's not bad. The main thing is going to come down to whether he guards or not regularly. And we did guard there, so... And we see we drop down to 8.5, and then we do get the additional. So that's the other thing to bear in mind as well. After his entrance animation runs out, he's losing out on 120% attack and defense. So I should have checked his defense at the start of turn 5 when he still had that buff active. But with the guard here, post super, yeah, he takes double-digit damage. So that is really, really good. So obviously once you get past turn 5, he loses a chunk of his power, which is disappointing. But I mean, again, dropping like an 8.5 million AoE is still pretty good for a unit with no dupes and no, not yet been link leveled. I would say that is pretty good. I put some skill orbs into him. I gave him, what did we give him? It was a level 2 dodge and a level 5 crit. Because remember, this guy gets his extra attack at the start of the turn. Or is it the attack or is it the additional? He gets the additional when guard is activated, which guard activates even if the unit dodges. So even if he dodges, he's still going to get that chance to do additional super. The thing that you miss out on is if he doesn't get hit by an attack because he dodges them all, he doesn't get that 100% extra attack, which obviously that is doing a lot of work, right? Like that's giving him a significant amount of extra power, 100% extra attack. So if you give him a full dodge build and then he dodges every single attack in slot 1, then he still has that chance to do an additional super, but he's not getting the attack buff, which I don't know if I like that, as opposed to just getting the buff by getting hit, right? So, but I mean, like I say, so far I think he's looking pretty good. I definitely wasn't expecting numbers this high from a 55% unit, so pretty decent so far. Did he super this turn? I really hope BUU doesn't get killed here. I brought this guy just because he's another BUU unit that runs on this team that gives some support, but he greatly raises defense on super, so at least he doesn't get immediately disintegrated by normal attacks. But yeah, he's still taking like 50k, which is not ideal. Right, so we'll do this. So where's his defense now? This is with no support. He's at 300k start of turn. So that's where it starts to get dicey if you're taking him into these harder events, because if he doesn't guard, then he is going to take a lot of damage. So I'm going to get the Dokkan attack here, so let's see. Yeah, see, he didn't guard this time. I was about to say he's been pretty consistent with the guard, considering it is a 70% chance, but, you know, we all know the memes about UI Goku with his 70% chance to dodge, and then he doesn't dodge when it counts. And the problem with guard is that it's not like dodge where it's per attack. Like if you get hit at the start of the turn and that arrow isn't pointing down, you're not guarding for the whole of the rest of the turn. So then if a super attack is coming your way, then you're potentially taking a lot of damage. But I mean, he tanks the normal attacks perfectly fine, which is great. Kid BUU, I think he's probably fully built up at this point. Kid BUU does actually get the 200% leader skill from Gamma 1 as well, so he's quite good on this team. Yeah, I was going to say, ideally he needs to get multiple supers to be able to tank well against Frieza, so he might die here. 450k, I mean that's not terrible. I mean the team has 650k HP, so not the worst. And then I don't think Frieza is going to be doing much damage to Metal Cooler. I mean if he did somehow manage to kill Metal Cooler he would revive, although apparently he's just not attacking anyway. Yeah, so I mean Super BUU, he seems pretty good. We got, I guess if we finish this turn without getting killed here by Frieza, we will get one more turn with Super BUU. We did heal, obviously, because we did the Dokkan attack as well. So Kid Buu being able to survive that super was good in that situation, because it means we just ended up getting a full heal afterwards. So we have ended up right where we want to be in terms of being on full health. Gamma 1, how much do you take here? Because your guard has definitely run out by now. Double digits, wow. Yeah, Gamma 1, the friend one is Rainbow. Definitely looking forward to them coming back on the anniversary banners. I still need dupes for both of them, so the Gamma's still very, very good. Still definitely like top 10 TURs. Crazy to think that for Global, they came out in, what, like November and have still never come back on another banner. So if you didn't get them back then, there's like no way for you to have them at the moment, which is kind of a shame, because they are incredibly good, but especially when you run them together like this. But yeah, see 7 mil. Even Gamma 1, who's like the defensive one out of the two, getting a 7 million attack stat here is pretty nice, because mine has 2 dupes, I want to say. I think it's their numbers are the other way around, right? So Gamma 1 has 2 dupes, Gamma 2 has 1 dupe for me, I believe. Now this is going to be the test like turn, right? Because we're against a really strong tech enemy. So if Super Buu doesn't guard, then we die, potentially. And that's always going to be the downside to units that only have a chance to guard. If he does guard, then we'll be looking good, because he's got, what, 368k defense. But if he doesn't guard, there's a lot of attacks in slot 1. We are potentially just dead. He did guard. So there you go. 70%. I mean, it's the highest percentage chance of these chance-based passives. But how much does he take from the super? Because this is before we've super attacked, which would have been nice, because at least we get a bit of an extra buff. Ooh, he still takes 400k. I mean, that's quite a lot, but this Frieza can't, like, double super, right? Actually, can he? No, only the AGL one can. So once his intro buff thing wears off and everything, though, the additional super is definitely not looking too crazy. Less than 3 million. I mean, we have no attack support on this rotation, but yeah, the additional super not looking too wild. But him coming in on those first couple of turns and just dropping like 10 or 12 million attack stat supers is certainly quite good. Kid Buu being really bad with the additional super, but he'll tank the levels for double digits, so that's fine. So yeah, there you go. LR Super Buu at 55% level 1 links. Actually, he's got an active skill that we didn't get. How do we get his active skill? Starting from the 5th to... Oh, your HP has to be 60% or less, which, unfortunately, on this team, the only time we could have possibly dropped below that HP has been times where he's been on the rotation. So, we've not been able to see that. So I guess we could let this turn play out. Unfortunately, Metal Cooler does provide a lot of healing. This is kind of one of those weird scenarios where, like, Gamma 2 could get supered and then we just die. Metal Cooler could get supered and die, but then he revives and then we have full health. So I don't actually know if we even can get onto the next turn at 60%, because I feel like we're either tanking any of the attacks that are going to be coming, or we're dying to them. So I actually don't know how possible it is for us to even get to 60% HP from this turn. But I mean, Gamma 2 can build up a lot of defense, so I mean, if he gets supered here and only takes like 100k, oh well, I'm going to find out. What's he taking here? Could be a lot. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. 1.4 mil. Alright, well, there you go. LR Super Buu, 55% level 1 links. He seems pretty good to me. I still don't think you should summon, but remember, he's a yellow coin banner. He's going to... yellow coin banner LR, so he's going to go into the pool for things like the Part 2 LR banners during the anniversary. So, you know, if you're intrigued by him, I would still say, you know, at some point in the future, you're going to get a better opportunity to get him. I would not summon on this banner unless you have, you know, a ton of stones ready for the anniversary and you want to risk the discounted multis, but I still probably wouldn't recommend it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know some events you want to see him go up against. I think it could be interesting to try the Gamma's red zone, because in the last phase you are fighting 2 of them, so that we could actually make use of his AoE. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.